Hello and welcome to my Keto Kitchen. I'm Victoria. Today I want to show you how to make a single serving loaf of bread, or a very small loaf of bread. A lot of you tell me often you're the only one that does keto in your family, and when you bake a large loaf you don't always get to eat it all. Maybe you don't put it in the freezer. Usually if I make a big loaf, I'll put it in the freezer, take out what I need, but there's a lot of toasting and rewarming with that. So what I wanted to do was get a recipe and get just the right bowl that you can use to bake bread or microwave it, but to get a yeast tasting, regular tasting piece of bread at any time that you want it, just for yourself. So that's what we're doing today, and let's get started. So the first thing that we need is our dish. Now this dish is from Super Cubes. I've showed these before. They now have these in different colors. The nice thing is when you order this, they come in a double pack. So this is what you would get. Stoneware, Super Cubes. This is not a sponsored video. I just use this all the time. I like the Super Cube stoneware. They have different colors now. This is my box that I got years ago. I keep them in the box. But these are just perfect for bread. I mean, they're perfectly square, the perfect size. You can put them in the oven. You can put them in the microwave. Do whatever you want to do with them, but these I love. You get them in a double pack. Again, I'm not sponsored. I just use these all the time. So now that we have our dish, the inside needs to be greased. I used an avocado oil spray, so that's what I have in here. Now for the recipe, first thing we need is 1/4 cup of warm water. To this we need to add 1 teaspoon of inulin, sugar, or honey, whichever one you want to use. This is what's going to activate our yeast. The yeast is going to eat this, create CO2, and cause the bread to rise. The next thing that we need is 1 teaspoon of yeast. I'm using active dry yeast. Now that this is mixed, I'm just going to set this aside. Now our dry ingredients. We need 1/2 cup of my new standard keto flour, and we need 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. Then 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to get this mixed up. Okay, I'm bringing my yeast water back, and to it I'm going to add 1/2 tablespoon of oil. I'm using avocado oil. And I need an egg white, not the yolk. The yolk weighs it down and prevents it from rising as much, but if you don't want to waste the yolk, it's not going to ruin the bread. Your bread's just not going to rise as high. So I am going to separate the white from the yolk. Okay, now pour your wet ingredients in with your dry and mix well. Okay, now pour your dough, or it's more like a batter. Pour your batter into your greased dish. Now you can line it if you want. I didn't line it. Going to spread it around nicely. Okay, you can definitely let this set in a warm place for 30 minutes to an hour and get a small rise out of it, or you can put it directly into your oven. Now, this is going into my oven at 375 degrees for 25 minutes. So I'm going to do that, and then I will be right back. I had to turn the video on because I ruined this. So when you grease your dish, it's best if you line the bottom, because if you use this dish, things like to stick to the bottom even though I still greased it. So I'm going to do everything I just did all over again, and this time I'm going to line the bottom with wax paper. I made this before and I left it flipped upside down and it came out fine. It wasn't beautiful, but it didn't look like this. So I'm going to do this again, but I wanted to show you what happens if you use this dish and you do not line the bottom. You could likely ruin your bread. However, oh my goodness, it's fantastic. It's dry, it feels wonderful. I mean, still gonna eat it. So, even though I broke it. Oh, it smells so good. It's definitely yeast bread. So, let me do this again and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got this out of the oven. I let it sit here and cool. It is in one solid piece this time because I did put parchment paper at the bottom of the dish. So you definitely want to do that. Now, I told you guys this is a one-person bread, okay? Now I want to cut the inside so that you see how beautiful the inside is. And we're going to move closer to do that. So let's do it. Okay, so now that I've showed you what the inside looks like fresh, I am going to go toast these and I'll be right back. Okay, I just got this one out of the toaster oven. It's definitely crisp, so let's butter this one. And it doesn't fall apart and it doesn't break when you butter it, okay? You can get the butter on there. It's a perfect square. It's not going to fall apart on you. It's not weak, and it does not taste like eggs, okay? It does not taste like eggs. Okay, I think I got all of my thumbnails done, though today was just not the best day for thumbnails. So I'm going to try the toasted piece of bread, even though I don't want to eat it all because I actually want to make a sandwich for lunch. So I'll just take one bite of my toasted bread. So, very yeast tasting. You can definitely taste the yeast. It tastes like yeast bread, almost like a sourdough bread. This is a rich, but it's not super dense. It's actually pretty light, but it's not eggy. This is not an eggy bread, okay? Those of you that are scared to make keto breads because they always come out eggy, this is not an eggy bread, okay? This is not an eggy bread. This is really good. It will toast for you. It will give you a crispness that you're looking for, and it will make a fantastic sandwich. So if you are the only one that does keto in your household, and say you want a 2-minute yeast tasting bread, you can absolutely do this exact same recipe, 2 minutes in the microwave, done. But if you want to bake this bread and have it more rich and real, I am running short on verbiage today, and I'm sorry, but it is very, very good baked. The taste of it baked is better than in the microwave, but I still do it in the microwave. I do it in the oven. It just depends on what I feel like that day and how much time I have. So I wanted to show you all a recipe for one person to have a sandwich, have some kind of yeast tasting, real tasting bread in their oven that you can make. 25 minutes in the oven is not that bad. It'll take you about 5 minutes to put the mixture together and then you're done. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you make this. If you do, please put it in the comments down below or go over to my Facebook. Put a picture of it. If you make it, tell us all what you think about it. Thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and you all have a blessed day.